Well, how about this? A bonus episode of Wake Up the Echoes presented by TireRack.com. I'm your host, Tony Simeone. We just absolutely had to celebrate the national championship that fencing won. 14 national championships now for the fencing program. Gia Kvaratskhelia, the head coach, has just done such an amazing job with this program over the last decade, and they won another title here in 2025. So we wanted to get you a bonus episode of Wake Up the Echoes. We talked to two individual champions in this episode, Chase Emmer, who fences foil for the men, and then Esther Muhari, who fences épée for the women. Not only did she win a national championship this year, she won an ACC championship, and obviously, most impressively, she won a bronze medal at the Paris Olympics in 2024. So we had a great conversation with the two of them to just recap the run to the national title and hear a little bit about their fencing journeys here at Notre Dame. Before we get to that conversation, I do want to mention that today, as you're listening to this, we now are able to announce that we're auctioning off the Yeti cooler that's been signed by nearly every guest that's been on this show. It is now available. If you go to fightingirish.com/wakeup, you can put your bid in to possibly get your hands on this amazing cooler. We have also established that the proceeds for the cooler are going to go to the Boys and Girls Club of Northern Indiana Corridor. So I can't wait to see who gets their hands on this Yeti. I can't wait to see how much money we raise for the Boys and Girls Club. The bidding is available from April 15th to May 15th. Again, fightingirish.com/wakeup if you want to get your hands on this truly once-in-a-lifetime piece of amazing Notre Dame cooler. It's just amazing. Yeti, thank you so much for all you did. Everyone that came by the show, thank you for signing it. Just a great opportunity. I can't wait to see who it goes to. Okay, get your hands on the cooler. In the meantime, sit back and relax and listen to us talk some fencing. Okay, this is a very special episode of Wake Up the Echoes, and I'm excited because we get to talk some fencing. This is now the 14th national championship in program history. I have a couple of individual and team champions, Chase Emmer and Esther Muhari. Thanks so much for being here. How does it feel to be national champion? I'll start with you, Chase.
Yeah, I mean, it feels amazing. Being at Notre Dame my past 2 years, I've came back with the national championship both times. So, the feeling doesn't feel any worse anytime I get another national championship. Yeah.
Esther, how about you? I mean, obviously, I look at the trophy here. I'm not going to touch it. My rule is I'll never touch a national championship trophy unless I win one. I still have eligibility, but I'm no good at anything. So what's it feel like when you look at the trophy, when you think about what you accomplished? How's it feel?
Yeah, well, hi. So it feels great. So this was my second individual title as a second time participating in the NCAA championships, and also the 14th title with the team. So I'm just so thankful to be here, and I feel like this is a way that I can give back to the school for like everything that I got already.
Yeah, it's been so cool to watch this program, in my opinion. Obviously Notre Dame, the first thing you think of is football, right? And that's the what it's maybe known for. But like honestly, fencing, no program's been more successful, certainly over the last decade, than you guys. Where does that kind of come from? I feel like when I talk to head coach Gia Kvaratskhelia, athletes over the years, there's like an amazing culture. How have you guys built that in your time with the program so you guys have all this success?
Yeah, I mean, I think we definitely use that as a motivation. My freshman year, I know we were on back-to-back already, and we told ourselves we want to be the first team on campus to ever three-peat. So my whole entire freshman year, we were all like, okay, this is the year where we'll do it. We need to work really hard. This is what we need to do, because there were still some seniors and juniors who were part of those back-to-back teams who knew what it takes to win.
Yeah.
So we just rest highly on each other, and we just put our heads down during the whole year. It's a really long year with also like international tournaments and stuff like that. But,
sure.
We rallied together for that 4-day craziness that NCAA's is, and we've been pretty good.
Now, Esther, you're from Hungary, so you come to Notre Dame. How was the team, the university, like how have they helped somebody who comes from a different country and to assimilate into this program and be a part of such a great group?
Yeah, so I'm not the only international fencer on this team, so I feel like there's so many cultures represented between these like 60 people or 70 people that are currently on the team right now, that I just felt like a part of it, like part of the team, like right away. because I've also known a lot of people before coming here and was also welcomed by people that I've never seen in my entire life, 2-3 years older than me and all that, and also people younger than me. So I feel like I could just fit in right away.
How much does Gia build that culture? Because I see him when I first was talking to you guys before we started recording, like I've gotten to broadcast the ACC fencing championships. He was super helpful to me when I worked here because he came and he just sat down with me for like a half hour and kind of explained the basics, kind of fencing for dummies. So I learned it, and he was very welcoming. It feels like it starts with him. Like, what's it been like to be around him in your time on campus?
Yeah, it's been incredible. He's just an amazing coach, not only like tactically, but just as like a coaching perspective. He just kind of, if you need a break and you tell him, I have a test this week, can I take off on practice today and focus on that? He lets you. And he's just really flexible, and he knows what it is to be a student and an athlete at the same time. So he's just really understanding and helps everyone kind of get to the most efficient point you can be, rather than being burnt out or just like not wanting to come to practice. But when he's my coach, I feel like I'm ready to come to every practice. And if there's one of those days where I'm like, okay, this is going to be a push, I'll tell him. And he's like, okay, just take time off and come back when you're ready. So he's been great in that aspect for sure.
From your standpoint, have you had a similar experience to the one Chase just described with Coach Gia?
Yeah, even though he's technically not my coach, as I'm an epéist,
Sure.
He's a foil coach, but I still like see him every day as our head coach. And what I understood from his perspective is that he's always like with open arms, just welcoming everyone, and always so generous and giving like everything that he's got. And that's basically what like I adore him for the most.
Okay, let's talk some weapons here. So, foil. Notre Dame's got great foil history. Obviously, I think on the women's side, you have Lee, of course. But then Itkin was here, Garrick was here, Marcelo.
Yeah.
The foil, I think of Notre Dame, I think of foil, but I want to get to epee. Don't get me wrong. Just when you come to Notre Dame and fence foil, and I'm sure there's people listening that are not as familiar with the weapons, but describe like what it means to fence that weapon at Notre Dame, and then of course to win a national championship and kind of add your name to that list over the years.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like when you get recruited, first you think about the team success, but then you start to think about individual weapon success. So I came in as a freshman and Marcelo was here as a senior, and then I missed Nick by 1 year as he graduated before me. But you just see a list of all the people, and you're like, wow, this is definitely attainable. And they've done great things here. And with Gia's help, I think I can do great things as well. And then also just motivation. You just see we have a cool thing in our locker room. After you win an individual championship, you have like a bronze engraving on top of your locker that you won at. So that was kind of my motivation. I was like, okay, when I graduate, I really want that name over that locker that I have now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a cool motivation kind of piece that we have. But it's just when you see people blaze the path in front of you, like Garrick, Marcelo, and Nick, it's just like it's really easy to believe that you can kind of do amazing things here and win individual national championships as well as teams. Yeah.
It's been amazing to watch just like how good foil is. Now, epee. So when I watch fencing, the one that's hardest for me to understand is saber. It's just too fast. It's too fast. I kind of can get foil mostly, still kind of struggle with right away in a lot of cases. I go to my partner, David, and he helps me out. David would just say, I agree. But epee, I feel like I'm able to process epee the best of the three. And it's just because it feels the most deliberate. I understand the double lights. Okay, there's people listening that probably haven't watched a ton of fencing or as much as any of us, but like when you got into epee, what attracted you to that weapon, and why do you like fencing it?
Well, mostly when I got into epee, it was because of like my height, me being a lefty, kind of my whole size. Just like my coach directed me to epee. But something that got to me as like I'm still doing epee is just like the technique that I still have to use, even though there's like no right of way or there's not as many rules as like in foil or saber. Still like so much technique there, and something that like people who don't fence cannot understand.
Yeah.
But I see it from the inside, even when I'm fencing or outside when I'm watching. So that's that's about it.
So when you say your height, like in épée, if you're a little bit longer because the whole body, you can hit the whole body. Is that why your height is an advantage? Because you have maybe a longer reach than the average fencer? Is that what you're getting at?
I would say that's one of the reasons. Okay. But on the other hand, being a foilist, for example, if you look at Lee Kiefer, I would say she's like a shorter person.
Yeah.
And it's just better for her, like close attacks and close distances. She can do it quicker and shorter arms, all that. So that helps a lot.
Okay. I need then both of you guys to help me and help our audience understand how impressive Lee Kiefer is on the national scale. Because I was here when she was at Notre Dame winning national championships, and I heard about her a lot, and we've celebrated her very well here. But then to see what she's done the last 2 Olympics, it's kind of opened my eyes to be like, oh my gosh, she's even better than I think a lot of us understood at the time. Like when you see what she's done at the national stage, just try to put into words how incredible Lee Kiefer is and how neat it is to fence, at Notre Dame like she did.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always reminded of how good she is every time she comes back to practice and practices with us.
Oh.
Yeah, she gives me a really hard time, and her fitness is just insane. There's a lot of times where I'm like, okay, Lee, like 5 more and then I need a break. But no, she's just incredible, the kindest person. And yeah, her fencing style is really unique. She's small, but also she knows how to use that as an advantage almost, by like on the blade actions and just being really quick and stuff. So I mean, even though like maybe I didn't look up to her when I was like young, because I was just like, it was like on a woman's side versus like a men's side, sure. But still when I was young, I was still on the shorter side growing up. So I needed to use some of the techniques that she used to be able to get inside of a distance, or like make my lunges a little bit longer or something like that. So definitely she's been an inspiration to me.
Okay, I feel like we've buried the lead here a little bit, but you were at the Olympics in Paris.
Yeah.
And I think you came back with a medal, right?
Yeah.
Bronze medalist? Okay, so we probably should have started with that.
Right.
Whatever, okay. We're still in the national championship. So we have an Olympic bronze medalist on the couch. Did you see Lee out there at all? Did you interact with her at all? On different weapons, so I don't know what the interaction's like there, but, there's another Olympic out there.
Yes, sure did. So I got my bronze medal, and then the next day she got her gold medal, and then after that in the like kitchen area we met each other. I was like, hi Lee. You're insane. I think she goes, you're insane too. Oh, wow. So that was so cute. Definitely we met, but not more interactions than that.
It's kind of amazing when you think about Notre Dame at the Olympics then had 2 of the few medalists in all of fencing. It's kind of incredible what the program has produced. Just I'm sure that moment was unbelievable for you. Just tell me whatever you can about what it was like to win a bronze medal at the Olympics.
I've got that question like so many times.
I'm sorry for asking.
But yeah, obviously it was incredible. Well, I can still like remember the emotions that I had that day, and it was just so tough mentally to do everything that I kind of zoomed out, and like on that day I forgot everything that happened, but then it kind of slowly came back each day. So definitely it was like probably the best day of fencing that I ever had in my life.
Wow. The thing about fencing that sticks out to me, and I've talked to David about this when we've done the broadcasts, is it does feel like, and this is maybe why I'm always so impressed by Lee being so consistent, is that it can be an inconsistent sport. It can be who has their best stuff on that day. Sometimes the best fencer doesn't always win. I see it at ACCs when you guys are maybe sometimes in 5 touch bouts. There's way more variance than you get to 15 touch bouts. You can kind of separate the cream rises to the top and whatnot. But do you feel like sometimes when it comes down to an individual bout, it's just like who shows up in the best shape that day? Because, I don't know, I see results sometimes. It doesn't always seem like the best fencer necessarily always wins. And the sport can be kind of taxing because of that, because mentally it can get to some of the people that do it, right?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's a lot about like matchups. So and styles. So one person can be really good at fencing tall people, but the way they fence, they could open themselves up to like weaknesses to shorter people. So it's not like 1 and 2 aren't, or like you said, aren't always going to finish 1 and 2, because they might hit someone who's like hits one of their weaknesses. And yeah, it definitely becomes pretty taxing, because sometimes like maybe you should be winning, but you just didn't come in there with the right mindset or the right tactical decisions. But that's also the great thing about being an underdog, is if you aren't supposed to win, you could come up with a good plan and execute it properly, and then you can steal a bout from them here or there, and then eventually like make yourself up to win the bout.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one cool thing about fencing is there's a lot of different variables going on all at once. Yeah.
I want to ask you, this is a super inside ACC fencing question, but I'll ask Esther because you're on the women's team. At ACCs, the Saberists almost went undefeated in that team competition. Remember that? They went 35-1. I can't remember who it was. I won't expose them. Who lost the one bout? But did you guys know that was going on and they could have gone 36-0 in that run?
I think we kind of knew.
Okay.
But I don't think we were super surprised. We know they're good.
Yeah.
We know we are good too, but especially in Saber, that's where I would say the least amount of surprises happen. And then epee is just very, you can never count on someone like to win all the time.
Yeah.
Foil is also like mostly like the better ones,
Yeah.
like Maison Bank.
Control a little bit more. I
Sure.
think, yeah.
So you find that in epee, sometimes you get more random results, is what you're saying.
Definitely.
So how do you handle that when you think like I fenced better than that person, but the result didn't go the right way?
That happens so many times.
All your losses have gone that way.
many losses, especially before the Olympics. I was super stressed, and I just went to World Cups and was already focusing on Paris, I think. I wouldn't say I didn't care about the World Cups before that, but I was just so stressed about it that like everything was like all on my mind was just towards the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
And I did have some bad losses.
Yeah, that's got to be tough. Okay, I want to shift a little bit to just Notre Dame. Obviously, you guys are here because you're great fencers. I assume you came to this school because you like the academic prestige it has as well. Other than those two things, what do you love or what do you enjoy most about your experience at Notre Dame? What about this place has drawn you to it and has made you enjoy the experience so far? I'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's probably just the people that you're around. Just meet so many incredible people. It definitely sounds cliche, but it's so true. You can go from one class that is like a science class and meet someone really smart and who has insane knowledge about some research they're doing. And then you can go to like another class where you have an incredible teacher who's really likes what he's doing and just makes the class fun. And even though I might not be super interested in that particular like topic, but the teacher just makes it so fun and I'm like engaged the whole time. And then also just like the community, the team, but also like all the guys in my dorm.
Sure.
And just I would say the biggest thing is definitely the community here. Is just amazing. Yeah.
What about you, Esther?
Well, one of them is definitely faith and religion. That's here. Even though I haven't been like so out there and everything about it, because I still feel like sometimes I just don't fit in, or I still have like some cultural some limitations, I would say.
Sure.
But definitely that's one of them. And then the other one is just being with some people from the team in class with. So just going from class to class, having a good time, studying together, all that is it's pretty special.
Okay, last one I have for you guys is kind of about going back to the national championship here. I now feel like it's at the point, and you said kind of putting the pressure on yourself. Feels like now the expectation is just to win a national championship every year. Obviously, it's not easy. It takes a lot of hard work. But just as you guys think about your college careers here, you guys are charging forward. Just how much pressure do you put on yourselves to keep up this amazing run that Notre Dame fencing's on? Because it's just every year I look up, kind of when I start my fencing research of the year, I look up, there's Notre Dame at the top on both men's and women's, and you guys are kind of always the favorite now. Just how much pressure do you put on yourself to keep this run going?
I mean, there's some times where I'm like, oh, wow, like there is a lot of pressure going on. Like now we're defending champions and stuff like that. But Gia always gives a great speech before we go into NCAAs, and he's like, just focus on fencing your best. Don't try to fence like 10 times harder than you normally would, because then you'll make mistakes. But fence your best, and everyone on the team will fence their best. And we're like good enough team that if we all fence well and we don't try to fence anything better or anything less, we'll win as a team. So it's like there is pressure, but I know by the people beside me, the people I train with, the people in other weapons like Esther, like, I mean, it would be amazing if she gave us 23 bouts every year. But, I mean, it's just like you have great fencers all around you, so it makes it a lot easier to put your head down and really focus when you have people working just as hard, if not harder than you. Yeah.
I don't put a lot of pressure on us, especially that on myself. I feel like college fencing is something not super popular in Europe, and this is just something I'm experiencing. It's not as big for me as it for Americans.
Yeah.
But I know my teammates, and I know that our coaches recruit the best people out there and really put in the effort and everything to get the top of the top level athletes to be here. So I trust them and I trust their work too, because I see them like each day how they work and how much they put into this. So when we go to the NCAAs, I'm pretty confident in winning.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that's most fun for me to watch when I watch you guys fence, and it's really any college sport that's, let's call it an individual sport that's performed as a team, whether it's like golf, tennis, or fencing. It's cool to see the way the teammates feed off each other. Like at the ACCs, like men's are cheering on the women while they're going and vice versa. And then one bout, you have a big roar, can inspire the teammate down the line. So you guys are super fun to watch. Congratulations on all the success. Keep it going. And next time, we're going to have you bring the bronze medal so I can get a look at it, okay?
Sure.
Okay, congratulations on that. It's unbelievable. All right, thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
That does it for our bonus episode of Wake Up the Echoes presented by TireRack.com. Thanks again to Chase Emmer and Esther Mahari for an awesome episode. Congrats to them once again on the 14th national championship for fencing at Notre Dame. Just unbelievable what they have accomplished. Before we go, one more reminder that, again, you can start placing your bids at fightingirish.com/wakeup if you want to get a chance to take this cooler home, again, signed by nearly every guest we had this year on Wake Up the Echoes. Thanks to Yeti for putting it together, and thanks for everybody that signed it. Again, the bidding's open from April 15th to May 15th, and again, it's the Boys and Girls Club of Northern Indiana corridor that'll benefit from the proceeds of whoever puts in the highest bid. So we have at least one more episode of Wake Up the Echoes here this season coming up soon. We'll talk to you sometime soon. Until then, Tony Simeone saying so long.